Hello.
Ed and Eddie. Local shooting. Two kids are on a killing spree. They will stop at nothing until the entire Peach Creek population is gone, except for people whom they've judged to be trustworthy. This is based off the Columbine High School shooting.
It's already going to be a good one.
Rated fiction, mature. Written in English. Themes are horror and tragedy. It stars Ed, single D, and Eddie. It is 3 chapters long, with 1,306 words, 10 reviews, 4 favourites, and 1 follow. It was published on December 19th, 2010. Its current status is complete. Its ID is 6568875, and its author is Dogdays124. Chapter 1. Eddie's point of view. Note, these chapters are short. It is just the kids telling the story from their point of view. This story is going to be very similar to the Columbine High School shooting.
Oh God, Columbine.
It was a normal day, just like any other. I remember at school that day I had a huge math test that I didn't study for. We took half of the test, and then went off 4th hour lunch break. While eating, a mysterious pipe rolled by Ed's feet. It was homemade. It was homemade pipe bomb. That's my favourite homemade thing. It didn't go off because it was poorly made. I'm sorry. That raised some suspense. Okay. An explosive rolling by my feet, even if it doesn't explode, is going to do a little more than raise my suspense. I mean, I would be shitting myself. I mean, like, the whole school would be evacuated. Like,
Oh my God.
ugh. I went outside to get some fresh air, and then I saw these 2 guys with long trench coats. The guys had rifles, sawed-off shotguns, it's American, and a semi-automatic handgun. Then they both started shooting. I didn't really have time to think. I got shot 6 times and it shattered 2 of my vertebrae. And then I began to lose feeling in my legs, so my feet were going numb, and I had the feeling of passing out. I saw 3 other kids come out, Jenny Warren, Michael Cage, and Johnny 2x4. They were all hit with 2 bullets to the leg and to the head. Why to the leg? Why are they not aiming centre mass? 2 to the chest, 1 in the head. That's how you do it. Not 2 to the leg and 1 to the head. Johnny survived miraculously, though. The others were
Wait a
killed.
minute.
What?
Wait a minute. We don't have a. Oh, we do have a Johnny. My bad.
Johnny survived miraculously, though. The others were killed. While I lay there motionless, sudden change in tense. I'm thinking, how did those guys get guns like that? And how were they so accurate? I passed out for about 45 minutes. Okay. If you're unconscious for 45 minutes, you've probably got brain damage. When I woke up, the police rescued me and a bunch of other students. What, they were just waiting for him to wake up before they could start the rescue operation? Just like, no, sorry Johnny, we can't go in yet. This one guy hasn't woken up. It's like the cops in Payday 2 can't start attacking until the bass drops. Most of them weren't shot, but some of them were. It was so disgusting. There was blood everywhere. The officers told us who the shooters were. They were John Marcus and Mark Johnson. After being treated in the hospital for 3 weeks, I was ready to get back on my feet. 3 weeks? Jesus, that's quite a fast recovery. I mean, gunshot wounds to the vertebrae? Eesh. Anyway.
6 gunshots and 2 vertebrae shattered.
Yeah. And these are, like, rifle rounds. Like, these aren't, the sort of, I can walk it off type things. I mean, I'd be expecting a few months at best.
Oh dear.
Ed's point of view, Chapter 2. Note, Here we get a little deeper into the story. Ed now tells us that the shooters were his friends. Who knows, maybe the gunmen'll give him a break for it. Foreshadowing? What? No, he's actually written foreshadowing. So he's basically...
Like foreshadowing.
So he's basically saying, yeah, Ed's not gonna get shot.
Also, there's 3 Eds, so like, how
This is single D.
do they know?
What? What do you mean, how do they know?
They've distinguished the Ed based on the number of D's in his name.
Yeah, it's Ed, there's double D, and Eddie. I mean, have you even watched the show? Anyway, I came late to school today because I overslept. I stayed up late watching Evil Tim. I came to school during 4th hour. 4th hour? I'll give them a pass for that. Maybe, like, that's their way of saying 4th period. When we were taking the test. Just the test. You know. At lunch they were serving mashed potatoes and endless amounts of gravy. I thought today was my lucky day. Hang on. Mashed potatoes and gravy is your idea of a lucky day? How sad must your life be? But boy was I wrong. After about 10 minutes, a pipe rolled by my foot. I thought it was like a thing of firecrackers. Eddie told me that it was a pipe bomb. Never before have I seen one. It didn't go off because it wasn't made properly. After about 5 more minutes, Eddie went outside. 2 minutes later, we heard gunshots. We looked out the window and saw Eddie on the ground. He survived, though. It's starting to sound like it's a bad thing that he survived. Then we saw 3 other students. One was Johnny 2x4. They were all... No, sorry, were all shot. But Johnny survived. Everyone went crazy.
On that B.
Everyone went crazy. We hid all over the school. I decided to go outside and take a peek. They were 2 of my friends, John Marcus and Mark Johnson. They ran towards me. I was so scared I couldn't move. Mark told me to go home. I didn't move. John then shouted, "Run!" And I did. I called 911. The 2 went away. I went back in the school to see if everyone was okay. Not my best idea. I ran into the library. Everybody was running around. The librarian yelled, "Hide under the desks. Get your heads down." I didn't want to cause trouble, so I did. Sorry, his desire not to cause trouble is sort of seems to be overpowering his desire not to get shot. Is he British? So I did. Teacher Mr. Ken Cathro. Teacher Mr. Ken Cathro. Is that like Pastor Dr. Martin Semper? Teacher Mr. Ken Cathro came in to make sure we were okay. He then ran into the hall to check for more students. While running down the hall, he ran into the 2 gunmen. He tried to run away, but was shot immediately. Later, they came into the library. The 2 were yelling at everyone. They killed a bunch of people hiding under the desks. Then they found me. It was so scary. John just said, "Hey, Ed." And I replied, "Hi, are you gonna kill me?" The 2 paused. Then Mark spoke out. "No, just get out of here." I just sat there. He spoke again. "Run." This time I did. And I didn't turn back because they could have changed their minds and shot me. When I ran outside, there were police officers everywhere. One of them asked me who the shooters were. I told them they John Marcus and Mark Johnson. Oh, is he channeling the spirit of gangster now? They then told the other student that escaped through the emergency exit in the library. I saw them pick up Eddie, and I thought that could have been me. 3. Ed, double D's, point of view. I was in science class. We were working on our analysis questions. A lot of my friends were in that class with me, even Narts. When lunch started, me, Narts, and a few other students stayed to help our teacher, Mr. Guerin, with ideas. After a few minutes, we heard what we thought was rocks be thrown on through windows. Mr. Garron locked the door and told us to hide, and we of us really knew what was going on.
Oh my
A few minutes later, we heard gunshots right by our class. 2 students shot Mr. Ken Cathro. When the 2 were gone, Kevin and Rolf Harris, took him into the classroom and locked the door. Mr. Garron asked if anyone knew first aid. I did. I saw that Mr. Cathro was losing a lot of blood, though he was still alive and breathing. At this time, the gunmen came into...
This individual.
At this time, the gunman came into the library and started shooting. It was a really terrifying moment. Knots even started to cry. Mr. Castro was then unconscious. Rolf heard cars coming, then looked out the window and said, "The city patrol is here, or how you say, police officers." What? What? Hearing Rolf say that made my day. I was hoping that the police would take care of everything. The 2 gunmen then started shooting out the window and at the police. The police shot back as well. Mark of them saw Jimmy and Sarah. What? Mark of them saw Jimmy and Sarah? They were both shot twice. They were wounded. Jimmy tried to get away. After more students were shot and killed, Mark shot Jimmy again, this time knocking him out. John found Lee and thought he would be doing a favour to society by killing her. She was shot twice in the head. She is critically wounded but survives. I'm sorry, this beautiful change in tense strikes again. The police finally came into school. You'd think they'd be in the library after 2 minutes, but the police had no map of the school. Minutes felt like hours. Soon the police finally reached us. 3 of them stayed with us, and the rest went into the library. While Mark and John were distracted, Jimmy and Sarah, on the other side of the library, tried to get out through the window. The police outside went over and got them. When Mark and John heard that the police were inside, they committed suicide. That's just blunt, just like, yeah, he offed himself. John shot himself in the forehead 3 How do you do that? I'm sorry, after the first one in the forehead, you're gonna lose consciousness. Like, that's just how it works. Like, you're gonna lose the grip on the gun and fall down to the ground
I don't know
dead.
if it's burst, maybe.
I doubt it's burst. And Mark shot himself in the mouth. They both died immediately. So how could he shoot himself in the forehead 3 times?
3 times.
But also shoot himself 3 times? Is this a I know something about Hillary Clinton type suicide? The police found the 2 bodies on the floor and knew it was Mark and John because they had guns right next to them. The police took all of the other bodies outside to be cared for. They alerted the other officers that the nightmare was over. We were all happy about that. Happy until we found out. Later, we found out that Mr. Cathro died before making it to the hospital. Happy until we found out what? Like, it's in a separate sentence to the thing that says later we found out. So it assumes 2 separate things were found out. What was found out? Tell us your story, Dog Days 124. That was a day I'll never forget. Most of my friends were shot, including Sarah and Jimmy. I just find it unbelievable. I know some of the people survived, but a lot of innocent students were killed in this massacre. I'm sorry,
Jesus.
Pretty much every massacre has innocent people being killed, so... Ezra and Canon Love by Ben and Hadeyeo. Yayo?
It's Yao.
Yayo.
Or something like that, I think.
He's a weeb. Ezra cannot control who he loves. Expect surprises come they will. Okay, so a surprise is coming, or is Ezra coming? I mean... Rated fiction mature, so it's going to be Ezra. It's written in English, although judging by the description that sounds like a violation of the Trade Descriptions Act. Its themes are romance and drama. It stars Kanan J and Ezra B. It's 2 chapters long. It's got 3,628 words.
I
in
think
it.
I think you'll find it's pronounced Canaan.
It has
What
6
a-
reviews, 6 favourites, so 6 morons, 10 follows.
Six
It was
alter
last
counts.
updated on March 28th, 2016,
Oh,
and it
that's
was
fairly
published
new.
on March 5th, 2016, and it has the ID, not that anyone cares, of 118252262,
118 24/7.
which sounds like the sort of
Oh,
thing
no.
you'd see tattooed on a Jewish girl's arm, really. 3 days ago, Ezra was kidnapped by the Inquisitor. This is the first chapter, which is imaginatively called Chapter 1. 3 days ago, Ezra was kidnapped by the Inquisitor, and Kanan and his girlfriend Hera have been looking everywhere for him, but in the ghost there is a traitor. There,
Already
using the
0
possessive there,
punctuation.
yes, quite literally 0 punctuation. I mean, props, they have been using capital letters properly, but I see not one single comma, full stop, semicolon, nothing that would imply this author has a competent grasp of the English language. Ezra's POV.
Actually,
I have been...
Oh, not POV.
Sorry, yes, Ezra's POV. I have been Torcheres. Torcheres? What does that... Is that Spanish?
I don't even know what that's trying to say.
I
I
don't...
believe tortured or something.
Oh,
That,
tortured, right.
No, we cannot assume anything.
I mean, this could be a word that we've never heard of.
Yes, actually, I'm going to look it up. Define Torcheres. Oh! A torchère is a tall, ornamental, flat-topped stand, traditionally used as a stand for a candlestick.
So he's been a candlestick stand for the past 3 days, has he?
No, he has
my God,
been...
no, wait.
He has been a
He's the,
number of candlestick stands for 3 days. Notice the
Oh.
plural.
He's the French character from Beauty and the Beast. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
The plot thickens. I have been torchères for the past 3 days, and I have been hurt so much I have no strength left. But I will not call out to Canon. If I do, he will die. The Inquisitor enters. What the hell?
Oh, this is worse than I thought.
Well, boy, how have you been?
Literally no commas.
Well,
no
I must pronounce
punctuation.
all the punctuation. Well, boy, how have you been? He said. Well, I am just peachy, I said sarcastically. Well, don't worry, you won't feel that way for long, he said, putting a hand on my leg. Whatever idea you have in that demented head of yours, you better stop, I said. Oh,
this is
okay, so the
half of
first
this
letter is
sentence
not capitalized.
capitalized.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I will have my little way. That sounds like a Hasbro trademark. With you, boy, or should I say big way? He said, chuckling, getting closer than he pinned me to the cell floor. Ah, stop it, you nerf hurter, I said, try to lose his grasp, but it was useless. Ah, you would not say stop if I were your master, he said. You don't know what you're talking about, I said, as his hand went under my shirt. Yes, I do feel your affection for your master, apparently, so does that green Twi'lek.
So does that green Twi'lek.
Is Twi'lek like an actual Star Wars thing, or is that another retardation?
Nah, it's Twilight,
It's-
but he's
yeah,
not
spelled
wrong.
Twi'lek Sparkle.
Yeah,
Like
Twilight.
that.
Apparently. Is he trying to say
Oh, it is
apparently or
spelled
aperitif? Aperitif.
He does not
So
know
does
what
that
full
green
stop is, does he?
Twi'lek. He
It's
said.
still going on.
What? I said, shocked. Yes, they green pilot knew you had feelings for your master.
They
They
green
green pilot. Is he an aspiring rapper? They
Why
green
not just
pilot.
use her name?
Knew you had feelings for your master. He said, I remembered my conversation with Sabine DSM a week ago.
Wait, stop. The prior line to that, because it's not a sentence, includes punctuation. So we have our first
Where? Oh yeah,
The
question mark
interrobang.
and exclamation point.
That's officially the end of that sentence.
That entire
What?
thing
I said,
was
shocked.
one sentence.
Yes, they green pilot knew you had feelings for your master, he said. I remembered my conversation with Sabine a week ago. Flashback! I I was in Sabine's room. Hey Ezra, you have been acting weird lately, Sabine said. Well, what do you mean, I said. I saw the way you were staring at Cannon this morning at the meeting, and yesterday with your lightsaber training with Cannon. You're in love with him, she said.
I love
What, you're
that when
crazy, you're sure
Caden's
that's not the
name
paint...
isn't all caps except for the first letter.
That's just how
Why
caps
is-
lock
why is-
works. It's
Why
because
is
it's
half
because
this
pressing
randomly
shift.
capitalized? I don't understand.
it's basically caps lock. If you press shift while in caps lock, you go back to lowercase. So
Yeah,
I
but
think
why is half of this capitalized? What, and
because the author's brain damaged.
And halfway through the sentence, he realised, oh, hang on, caps lock is on, and just continued writing without affecting anything.
Because these words
My
are
favourite-
inspiration. You can't just go back on this kind of level. Oh,
And the way that the K is lowercase in Caden.
it's like Canaan.
Why?
Kanan.
K.
I saw the way you were staring at anal sex this morning at the meeting, and yesterday with your lightsaber training with Kanan. You're in love with him, she said. What, you're crazy? You're sure that's not just the paint getting to you? I said. Come on, Edra, I'm your best friend. I know you, she said. Okay, fine, I am, but Ehe is my master, and he is with Hera, I said. Ezra, you have to tell him, she said. What? I said. Ezra, you have to tell him how you feel, or you will regret it, Sabine said. We then heard something outside the room like someone was listening. When we checked, no one was there. Little did we know the person eavesdropping was a jealous pilot from Ryloth.
I've got a drinking game.
Every
Flashback.
I've got a drinking game.
What?
Every line that doesn't end with any sort of punctuation, you have to take a shot.
I don't really want to go to hospital with acute liver poisoning.
I love how every single "your" and every single "they" is wrong.
I know.
We can
You're
count
they.
the amount of punctuation in this entire fan fiction on our fingers.
On
No,
our
no,
crotch.
So far, it's 2.
Drink 2 bottles of wine every time a correct piece of punctuation appears, and you won't be drunk by the end of it.
Yes, she contacted me and told me everything. She then came up with a plan to give you to me, he said as a tear ran down my eye. Don't cry, my future apprentice, he said, kissing my neck. Get off me, I said. Oh no, I will not, he said. I heard my zipper being undone. He then pulled my pants off. And then he turned me onto my stomach and I heard his zipper being undone. This is like the most
He turned
boring
me.
rape in
He
existence.
turned me.
Onto my stomach. And I
That's
heard-
that's
and I
old
heard-
English. He turned me onto my stomach.
No, it's Yorkshire speak.
He turned me on my
On
stomach. Now that sounds more Welsh. Stop, please, I begged.
Okay, there is no excuse for the T to be capitalized here.
There is not. Have some dignity, boy, he said. I felt something being pushed against my entrance. Please, I'm a virgin, I said, and I'm a BT. Okay, so the 2 holes, no, the 1 hole, in fact, is an exit. You know, not an entrance. Like,
True,
if he's
yes,
on his stomach,
Wait,
there's
something
only
different.
1 hole in the rear it can be going through. And
Why
that
do you
is an
assume
exit.
it's the rear?
Because he's turned on his stomach. The laws of physics say that it's kind of hard, you know, to...
Judging from the fanfiction so far, I don't think it obeys the laws of physics. Or any other law for that matter.
I love it's just have some dignity, boy.
Have some dignity,
Some
boy,
dignity.
he said. I felt something being pushed against my entrance. Please, I'm a virgin, I said. Not for long, he said as he pushed his huge cock in me. I screamed in pain. He then went fast.
And then the
yeah.
music kicks up.
Yes, boy, you feel so good, he said. Stop, please just stop, I cried out. He then picked... Why is this written in quotation marks? Is he like saying this as he's being... He then picked me up and he then
He's
sat on
narrating
cell bench
it.
while he was ponding my ass. He kept the rhythm going. Ponding? Ponding?
Ponding.
It's where you put ducks in there.
He was creating a pool of water in my bum.
Well, it wasn't water. He was ponding my ass. He kept the rhythm going for 45 minutes. I felt my hole being stretched more and more. I felt blood escaping it. He then left my hole, made sure I was on my knees, and made sure my mouth was open. And he came in my mouth. Ah, yes, boy, yes, that was acceptable. This is starting to sound like this is sort of some performance evaluation sheet after the fact. Yes, overall performance, acceptable. I'm going to give you a G for your rape diligence. He said, getting dressed, then leaving. I was curled up in a ball on the floor now. I did not have a choice. My strength, my dignity, my innocence, all gone. I had no choice. Kanan, if you could hear, please come find me. I need you. No, the last thing you need is someone to come.
If that wasn't acceptable, would he have to be put in intervention for it?
Extended core hours.
Oh dear.
Kanan's POV. No,
Well,
sorry.
POV.
Kanan's PO. I heard Ezra's voice. I heard him. I saw him. Canon, if you can hear me, please come find me. I need you. I woke up. I felt Hera's arms around me. I had to get up. Canon, what's wrong? She asked. Ezra, I know where he is. I said, oh, Canon, we don't have to risk our lives for him. He's not worth our time anymore. What she said made my blood boil. How dare you say that? He is my Padawan. He is our friend. He is my underscore.
He is my. he is my
It's
underscore.
my underscore.
He is my underscore.
I mean, if it meant for him being cut off, then he would have used a hyphon. He was cut off by realising
I was
something.
cut off.
Oh no, actually. Oh wait, no, sorry, that was a closing quotation mark. I was cut off by realising something. Ever since Ezra was kidnapped, I have not been myself. I have not eaten right. I barley sleep, and I don't even kiss Hera. Could I be in love with Ezra? But he is younger and a guy, and my Padawan. Yeah, if he's his his Padawan.
No, my
My Padawan.
My Padawan.
Okay. In the Star Wars universe, is a relationship between a master and his Padawan statutory rape?
Padawan.
Like, do they have in the Star Wars universe? Do they have statutory rape laws?
Who knows?
I'm just theorizing.
It is
Well, I mean,
an interesting concept.
There's no way that relationship
Well,
between Padme and
I'm
Anakin was
certain
legal.
I'm certain that the Jedi Council, as well as deciding when your bins are collected, also have some, like...
You've been putting lightsabers in the recycling, Anakin.
Oh dear. My Padawan.
There's too much sand on your property. This is
I
a
don't
conservation
like
area.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It's everywhere. I don't like sand. It's rough. It's coarse, and it gets everywhere.
Your house is on the high ground, and I do not appreciate.
I've got the high ground, Anakin. Don't try it.
Right, Anakin, you're coming with me. What you did to those younglings was absolutely unacceptable. You're coming with me down station.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he is younger and a guy in my Padawan, but I feel when I'm with him it's like Order 66 never happened. Like there is not rebellion or empire, I have to face it. I'm in love with Ezra, and that I then went to the Phantom, but first I went to the kitchen to find the crew. Sabine, Chopper, you're coming on a mission to go find Ezra, I said. They immediately followed. Hera then said, Kanan, I can't let you do this. She said, why, Hera? Ezra needs our help, Sabine said. Chopper beeped at me. Chopper, don't you dare, said Hera. What, Chop? Sabine said. He then played a hologram. It was Hera. This is the Inquisitor. Oh, you are the rebel pilot. What do you want? I would like to give you something. What? It better be worth talking to, your dirty ass. It is the boy. What? Why? Because he is little... Sorry, this sentence requires my own emphasis. Because he is little fag that took advantage of my generosity, he is planning to steal my boyfriend. Ah yes, Canon Jerus. Well, this is a shock, but I will take you on your offer. Good, in 2 days I will have him go on a mission by himself and he'll be at this location alone. You can then capture him. Good, but don't make this action think after me and the Empire won't come after you. I know, but this will just give me one less problem. The hologram ended and we were all in shock. Canon, Zeb, lock her in Chopper's room and make sure she does not escape. I said Zeb did as I said. Me and Sabine went into the Phantom and I then put the coordinates for Mustafa. Knowing Ezra would be there when we got there, I did not care. We then docked in the side of a Star Destroyer. Hopper, circle the ship. We will contact you when we need to leave, I said. I sensed Ezra. He was calling out to me. We went to the cells. I saw 2 guards. One had Ezra's lightsaber. I then charged them and I killed them both. I then got the keycard and I opened the door. I saw Ezra, but he was naked on the floor. He was shivering. I went to him. Ezra, I whispered. Please, Inquisitor, no more, he said. I was heartbroken. Ezra, no, it's me, Canon, I said. I looked at his naked body. I saw the blood from his butt. I knew what happened. Ezra, can you walk? I said. He nodded no. I said, he nodded no. He nodded no.
Oh.
That is what we call a contradiction.
He
I
got to
then
the bit
put
where
my
all the
robe on him,
66
then
didn't happen.
I then put my robe on him, and then I picked him up bridal style, and I then carried him. Chopper, bring
Why
the
is
ship.
bridal style? I'm sorry, it's in every single fanfiction. No one can write a fanfiction without someone being picked up bridal style.
Well, I
just
think you'll find
ridiculous.
A Just Cause, The Adventures of Rico Rodriguez in Equestria will not feature that. Thank you
Yeah,
very
but
much.
Feature,
it's
feature.
got
I'm sorry, right, Alec.
Yeah?
Has it featured someone blushing yet?
No.
Has it featured someone giving someone a glare yet?
No.
It's not a fanfiction.
I'm sorry, but a character I loathe dies in the first chapter. It's as strong a fanfiction as anything.
Well, yeah. So you basically did some self-insert there.
I mean, the insert was Rico
Hey,
Rodriguez.
you.
He nodded no, then I then put my robe on him, and then I picked him up bridal style, and I then carried him. Chopper, bring the ship Spectre 5, plant some bombs, I said. We got to this phantom, and we went into hyperspace. I then saw Ezra. He was broken now, and it was now he was broken, and now it was my job to fix him. We arrived back on Lothal, and then I saw Zeb guarding Chopper's room. I then took Ezra into my room. Ezra, I said, please, I know you're going to be disgusted with me if I tell you what happened. He said, I then kissed him. He was in shock. Does it seem like I would be disgusted? He said, Canon. He said to me, Ezra, I know you have feelings for me, and those feelings are right back at you. I love you, I said. I heard him sob. But I'm disgusting. I'm not pure. I'm not a virgin anymore. He now works for BT. He said I became angry. I became angry. Ezra, tell me what that bastard did, I said. He was trying to make me turn to the dark side by he raped me?
It's turned into Skrillex.
No, I was more going for a ghost.
Oh, right.
He said I was now engulfed in anger. I was now engulfed in anger, he reacts. Ezra, that will not happen ever again. I will protect you, you hear me? I said, kissing him. He then kissed me back. I then took him to the refresher. I took a shower with him. I washed his blood off, making sure he was clean. I then got him some new cloths. They were old Jedi robes. I then carried him to the kitchen. Stay right here, I'll be back, I said. I then went to Chopper's room. Hera stood up. Pack your things, you're leaving in 5 minutes, I said in a cold voice. Where am I supposed to go? She said. I don't know, nor do I care. You betrayed Ezra for something he could not control, I said. She came near me and started to rub my groin. Come on, I can give you what he can't, Canon. She said. I was in anger. I backhanded, pimped, slapped. Oh, this chapter... I backhanded, pimped, slapped. Okay, so first of all, a pimp slap is already backhanded. Second of all, pimp is a noun. You can't make it past tense. And we finish on this beautiful sentence. You're a slut, and I don't love you. I love Ezra, I said. Sorry, I wasn't reading that the way the author intended. You're a slut, and I don't love you. I love Ezra, I said.
This sentence still hasn't ended. We're in the first chapter.
Okay,
Yes,
so
this
that is
all
chapter 1
sentence.
finished.
Oh,
This is now chapter 2, which is imaginatively titled Chapter 2. I then
I
left to
just
the...
love that Hero was like, I think Ezra's terrible and worthless at the beginning, and then she's like, you have to leave for what you did to Ezra. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I believe this author has a crush on Ezra.
Not as much as
XXX
one of the reviewers on it, though.
Oh, we're going to read the reviews when I finish this chapter.
Oh, yes.
I then left to the kitchen. I found Ezra sleeping. He looked so cute, so I violated him. No, that's not written. That was just me filling in the blanks. Ezra, I whispered to wake him. Yeah, he said, come on, let's go get your stuff and put it in my room. I want you to move into my room with me. I said, really? He said, Sorry, of course I want my boyfriend to sleep with me. I said we were about to kiss when Hera entered with her bags. I tensed up. I hope you two are happy. She said, just
You two
leave.
are happy.
Yeah, sorry, you two are happy. She said, just leave, Hera. I said, wait, no, wait, I want to ask a question. Ezra said, Hera, why? He asked. Because Kanan was mine. We were going to have kids and start a family. She said, don't you think I knew, shit, that I would not want to be a home record? I was even considering leaving the Ghost, but you betrayed me. Do you know what I went through with the Inquisitor? Do you know how much that screwed up my life? He screamed. Hera slapped him. I snapped. I force choked her, carried her outside, and threw her. She gasped for air. Well, I'm gasping for air after that massive run-on
The
sentence.
only one gasping for air.
I'm sorry, I want to know what the hell I would not want to be a home record means.
Searched it, it's just Amazon Echo.
What the hell? Hang on, he didn't want to be an Amazon Echo.
Yeah, it's just like, I would not want to be a home record. Amazon Echo and Google home record what you say.
You have 5
Why
minutes
would
to
it
leave
just
the...
be NBA standings.
You have 5 minutes to leave the area, I said, then going back in. Ezra was holing his face. Holing? I hugged him. We went to our room. We played down. When we woke, I helped him move his stuff in our room that night. We talked. Wait, what's played down? I know you can
What is
play
played
something down, but like, we played down. What? One of you has an extra chromosome and you have to try
Oh, here
and
we
give
go.
it to the
Oh,
other.
Here you go. Google for played down, represented as being less important than in reality.
Yes, you play something down. There has to be an object which you are playing down, but these two are both subjects.
We played down.
I wouldn't want to be a home record. Oh, Jesus. We played down.
Or is this like some like Star Jedi Call of Duty or something? Zara! Sorry. ZRA, do you know how much I love you? I said. He nodded no.
Why? What makes you make this mistake?
Ezra, if I had
He nodded no.
Ezra, if I had a choice to stay with you forever or return to the Order, I would choose you. I said. He kissed me. I grabbed him and
I
said,
would
Canon,
chose
I want
you."
you to make love to me for the first time. He said, are you sure? I said, yes, I am. He said. I then kissed him while slowly undressing.
I thought Kanan already did.
Third POV.
Who's third?
I'm assuming it means third person, or like, I don't know, maybe the guy peeping through
No,
the
because it
hole
still
he's
says
drilled.
us.
Both of us and they went with caution. Canon made sure to kiss Ezra on the neck slowly. He then took off the cloths of his Padawan and he saw the marks the Inquisitor made. He looked beyond them.
third
Ezra's body was
person.
flawless. Beautiful, whispered the cowboy Jedi. No, I'm not beautiful, Ezra said. Yes, you are, my love, Canon said. Canon, I'm a scrawny street rat who you took under your beautiful wings, said
Hey,
Ezra.
he's
No,
a
you're not.
street rat.
No, you're not. You're beautiful. You're more than just a Padawan. If I'm an angel, then you're a
Padawan.
god.
Padawan.
Sorry, a Padawan. If I'm an angel, then you're a god, I said. Canon, cupping Ezra's face and kissing him. The resumed, and then Canon softly put Ezra on his back. He then saw his hard-on. He then curled the entrance. Okay.
Isn't that a sport? Curling.
What, he just has a curling rink, and he just flips some stones up the guy's hair.
Oh my god.
Ezra, this will hurt a lot. You know that you are sure you want to do this, asked Canon. Yes, Canon, knowing the strict consent laws in the Jedi Order, realised he had to get a form signed in triplicate with Ezra's lawyer present. Yes, Canon, I love you. Please give me this pleasure, said Ezra. Canon then slowly pushed inside Ezra. Ezra held Canon, and Canon went down and kissed Ezra to help with the pain. When he was fully in, he waited for the okay to move. When he did, he was gentle and nice. He was loving. He then came inside the boy, and he felt like he was really in love. He was really in love, like this was the one thing that kept him Ted with Ezra, not the Force, but
Ted.
love. He then kissed Ezra. That
Ted?
was really steamy.
I assume
E.L.
that's meant to say
James
Ty,
Wolfo.
but why Ted?
No, he's actually talking about TED Talks. They're going to them together. Or he's
Ted with
actually
Ezra.
changed his name through a Jedi deed poll to Ted.
And then instantly
Ted
changed it back.
Jarrus. Yeah. The Jedi are kind of loosey-goosey with that thing. Thank you, Canon, said Ezra. You're welcome, my love, said Canon. For the next few weeks, they got Ezra new cloths, Ezra. New cloths, Ezra! Changed into some new cloths. The male...
Cloths, Ezra.
the male version of
Version of
Ahsoka Tano's
Ahsoka's
Season
Season
5. Is it covered in error textures?
Ashoka, actually.
Ashoka. Is that like Ahsoka, but more sort of...
Ashoka.
Ashoka, bitch!
Ashoka.
Like sassy black Ahsoka.
Nah, it's a
Or
show.
guy without any teeth.
Ashoka.
Ashoka.
Ashoka. Wow, you look amazing, said Canon. Thanks. Hey, you wouldn't...
You
Sorry,
wouldn't-
you wouldn't know where my lightsaber is by any chance, said Ezra. Yes, it's in our room, the same place I have the holocorn. What's a holocorn? Is that like a farmer's holocaust?
Don't you just mean?
Said Canon.
I think it's a holocron, but they don't know how to spell.
Or maybe they actually meant hollow porn. Said Canon. Okay, cool, but before I get that, we have a matter to discuss about who will be our new pilot. I said, don't worry, I have an old Ali that might help, said Canon. He heard the door. Hello, is anyone here in this rust bucket? Said a bald woman with 2 lightsabers. Ah, Ventures, it's always good to see you, said Canon, holding...
women.
A bold women. Ah, Ventures, it is always good to see you, said Canon, holding Ezra's hand. Ezra, this is Asajj Ventress. She used to be a Jedi and an assassin for the Sith, but now she's our new pilot, Canon said. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Finally have someone to keep Canon here on a leash, said Ezra, said Asajj. Julian Asajj.
Why is there
This
2
is what-
J's before and then 1 J now?
This is even worse fan service than in Force Awakens.
Yeah, he said, laughing. So we have a new mission, Ezra. Your parents, they sent out messages to the entire galaxy that kept one thing the Empire could not completely destroy. Hope, now we have a plan. If we send out that voice, your voice to people, we might be able to add more fire to the rebellion, said Canon. Wow, but how the only signal strong enough to send a message that strong is the Lothal communication tower. It's the most
Lothal.
powerful... Fuck you. Lothal communication tower. It's the most powerful communication tower within 5-star systems.
What does
It
Lothal
with-
mean? Or Lothal, or whatever?
Isn't that the planet Zeb's from?
No, it's the planet Ezra's from.
Oh. Alright.
It's the most powerful communication tower within 5-star systems. What's an in 5-star system? Like, okay, I could get if he said with 5-star systems, like
I
5-star
think it's
rated.
within 5 star systems,
Yeah.
but they forgot a hyphen.
No, you don't have a hyphen in within, it's just one word.
No, I mean within 5 star systems, not star systems. Because now it just sounds like there's 5 stars in the system.
Or they're just rated 5-star on Trivago.
5 stars.
Jedi TripAdvisor. Death Star, 1 star.
The universe is only 7-star system.
Next sentence.
Said Ezra. Exactly, said Canon. It took a second for Ezra to process. No, Canon, that thing will be guarded tighter than a vault. I won't let you, said Ezra. Ezra, this will be a team member. Plus, we have 3 force wielders, said Canon. Ugh, fine, but I gotta go to the refresher. I think I'm gonna be sick, said Ezra. He threw up and felt weird. Ezra, baby, are you okay in there? Oh, so he's suddenly in the refresher. Okay, no transition or anything? Yeah, I'm just really not feeling good, Ezra said. He looked on his stomach. He saw his markings and stomach. Oh my god, said Ezra under his voice. He then broke down into tears. Canon came in. Ezra, what's wrong? Said Canon. Ahem. Canon, I'm pregnant, Ezra said. Canon was taken by surprise.
There are a lot of things we can talk about here. About how this is definitely wrong. But of course this is a fan fiction. we
Maybe
can't
he
really-
identifies as pregnant.
Let's talk about the means at which it happened. Remember?
Yes,
Like-
in the butt, which
Yeah.
is impossible to get pregnant from unless you drill a few holes.
Yeah, exactly. There are so many things wrong with this.
Well,
Oh, maybe
he is
actually-
from Lothalian, which means he's not human, so it's possible that he could get.
Oh yeah, maybe we just assumed, you know, much like I assume people's gender sometimes, we just assumed that when he said entrance he meant butt because of our cis.
No, because it did mention the bum in other parts.
Oh,
It
shit,
did actually
yeah.
mention it.
Oh, let's carry.
Yeah. So, but how? Said Canon, reflecting the sentiments of every
Stop dropping
single
your
reader.
keys.
I think it's because I'm Lethalian and not human. My dad talked to me when I was a kid. He told me that when males on Lethal have these markings on their stomach, they are pregnant, said Ezra, showing the markings. Ezra, it's the baby mine, said Cannon. Time to call Jeremy Kyle. I don't know, and I'm really sad. I love you, and I want to keep the baby.
The wibbly wobbly temporal anomaly.
No,
Jeremy Daniels.
that is Star Trek. This is Star Wars.
Who cares? It's a fan fiction. It can be a crossover.
Ezra, it's the baby mine, said Cannon. I don't know, and I'm really sad. I love you, and I want to keep the baby, Ezra said. Don't worry, I have belief that the baby is mine. But do you have a justified true belief? But I want you to know if it's not, I will love it and you, said Cannon. I love you, Cannon, thank you, said Ezra. They went out to find their crew talking. Hey everyone, we have some news. Ezra's having a baby, said Cannon. They were all in shock, and then we explained they were not worried about how would the Empire react. The tide may have turned in this fight, said Asajj, but in whose favour, Sabine said. Those nerve hurters will surely come after Ezra if they find out the Inquisitor will be hunting us like a pack of dogs, but times 10. So 10 packs of dogs. I mean, 10 packs of dogs wouldn't really fare well in space, to be honest. Let's not stress it. It will be bad for Ezra and the baby, said Cannon. I think we need to let the Empire know. I want them to know what happened to me, what the Inquisitor did to me, Ezra said. You can be in serious danger. You can broadcast the signal within the Ghost, but someone has to be on the outside to handle this, said Cannon.
Handle this?
To handle this, said Cannon. Okay, Cannon, this is a 2-force job. Oh, if we can get a distraction leading away from the tower, then maybe we can get to it, said Asajj. I've got it. I'll plant bombs in the Lethal barracks across town from the tower, then we will get the attention we need, said Sabine. Fine, said Cannon. He then took Ezra to the bridge. Chopper, while we are going to the tower, Sabine and Zeb will take the Phantom while you manage the Ghost with Ezra. Make sure he does not stress, okay, said Cannon. He beeped and bopped. He said fine, said Ezra. Cannon gave Ezra a kiss. Ezra, I want you to ignite your lightsaber only in an emergency, and if it comes to that, run first, okay, said Cannon. Ezra nodded,
emergency.
And then Cannon left with Assange on 2 speeders, but apparently Iz was as if the whole city was on lockdown. Everywhere that was under high surveillance, indentured servitude, I'm not sure what that says. There is a new court-martial, Admiral Tarkin. He just came out of retirement. The mission went into motion. All spectres were standing by. Sabine activated the bomb, which caused all attention to go to the barracks. So they two Rouge Jedi broke into the tower like a ghost. But unfortunately, the Empire's attention returned to the tower. They managed
like a ghost.
But unfortunately, the Empire's attention returned to the tower. They managed to get the signal, but unfortunately, only one of the Jedi got out. Cannon was the one who did not escape. She went back, not looking forward to seeing a 15-year-old. Ezra, asked Assange. Where's Cannon? Asked Ezra. He was captured, she said. He broke down the...
Cannon.
That's what I said.
Right.
He was captured, she said. He broke down he got the signal up. Listen to me, people of the galaxy. I can tell you who I am. I can't tell you who I am, but I'm someone who has been hurt by the Empire too many times. They took the people I love away from me. My parents. They took my lover. They took. I am pregnant, and I don't know if it's my lover's baby or this man who raped me. That man is in the Empire. Listen, parents, do not send your kids to my fate. Fight. I am the spark of the rebellion. I'm here to tell you. If you don't, then it will destroy us all. He said, being cut off. The Empire took the tower down. Meanwhile, in a ship above the planet, a Star Destroyer. Well, it looks as if Ezra will be joining me in my...
above the planet, a Star Destroyer.
Is this just a bigger ship containing the Star Destroyer? Well, it looks as if Ezra will be joining me and my child, said the Inquisitor. You are not fit to speak his name, and even if the child is not mine by blood, I will love it as such, said Cannon. Oh, Mr. Jarrus, as much as I would love hunt Ezra down and fuck him in front of you and claim my child, I have some business to settle. Where is Fulchrome? Said the Inquisitor. Meanwhile, over 2 months, Ezra developed a baby bump, missing his boyfriend. He then sensed his presence in the Force. He managed to get some information. Assange, I think I know...
Informion.
The rare element in the periodic table, element 120 or whatever. Assange, I think I know a planet where Cannon is, said Ezra, holding his baby that was due any time. What, he just plunged his hand up his shoes and just held the fetus out? Where? Asked the exorcist.
Wait, what? Didn't Kanan, get blown up, though?
I think I know a planet where Cannon is, said Ezra, holding his baby that was due any time. Where? Asked the ex-assassin. A planet called Musorfar, said Ezra. Oh no, Ezra, that plant...
spelt it sort of correctly earlier on in the...
Oh no, Ezra, that plant is where Jedi go to die. She said he held back his tears. They went into hyperspace, heading to Cannon. They went to the destroyer. Ezra sneaked around with Assange. He found Cannon's cell. He was restrained. Cannon, wake up, he said, trying to wake him up. Move, kid, Assange said. If this worked with Master Kenobi, then it will work with him, she said, slapping him. He woke. He saw Ezra. Cannon, you're alive, Ezra said. How are you and the baby, he said. We're fine now that we have you, said Ezra. Ahem, I think you need to take this to the Ghost, said Assange. They went to the reactor to put the ship on self-destruct. They were shocked by an Inquisitor. Ezra gave Cannon his lightsaber. Ezra, my love, you hear? I'm so glad. Once our child is out, I'll screw you till you can't walk, said the Inquisitor that broke something in Cannon. He gripped him and broke the red saber, and he then let the Inquisitor say last word. There are more frightening things than death, he said before jumping to his death. The rebels returned, but not before receiving help from the rebel fleet. There was someone at the bridge.
Well, that was
Who's up
easy.
there? Asked Assange. Ah, Ventures, you don't change, do you? Said Ashoka Tano. Ashoka, explained Ventress, giving her a hug. Ashoka explained how she was Fulcrum, but then Ezra felt pain. Oh my god, he exclaimed. Babe, what's wrong, said Cannon. The baby is coming, he said. And the final line... Shit, everyone said in unison.
No, I want to see how
Still
the
no
sentence
full
ends.
stop. We need to see how the sentence ends.
The sentence ends, name. Type your review for this chapter here.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Can we
Okay.
point out how easy it was to put this ship on self-destruct?
Oh my god.
Okay.
Quickly.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I love how quickly it goes from Ezra, my love, you're here. I'm so glad once I child is out, I'll screw you till you walk. He said before jumping to his death. Literally, you can't even say a sentence because it wasn't. It was
There
just a
are no
line.
sentences in this.
Okay, so now let's read the reviews.
This is all
Reviews.
just one sentence.
Reviews for Ezra and Canon Love. From Luamora 11 for Chapter 2 on October 21st, 2016. Please, if you continue this story, update soon. So, Luamora 11 is a masochist. From Zeth Plasma, he wrote on Chapter 2 on March 29th of 2016. I love this twist you have created. What twist? So many questions go through my... Oh, the baby. Through my mind now. Who is the father? What will happen to Hera? How has nobody gone super protective at Ezra? Cannot wait for more. Big
Colon.
smiley emoticon.
Colon capital D.
Okay, and now from Ezra Bridger is my love.
Yeah.
On
That
Chapter
has to be
2,
rolling
on
down.
March 28th, 2016, wrote, this is so freaking epic. I love Mpreg so much. And can Ezra and Mpreg in one story. What's Mpreg? Is that like a new version of the MPEG 3 codec or something? And Mpreg in one story is so rare. I can't wait for the next
It's
chapter.
what basically what
I am
happens
thinking
to
who the
Ezra.
father really is, and if a boy or girl. I think it's Kanan and a girl, because I love Mpreg with a baby girl. Update soon! Oh, thank God it hasn't been updated soon.
Soth, you should write a fanfiction about
Can
Emperor
someone
Ezra
post a
just to
reply
cater
saying,
to
I
this
want to
one
know
guy.
how this sentence ends?
Zeth Plasma, on Chapter 1 on March 27th, 2016, wrote, I liked this, but poor Ezra. Well written. Hoping for updates soon. Smiley emoticon.
Well written? Sorry, are we reading the same thing? There are
It's just
6 reviews,
so-
but only 4 people who have written a review.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
you might want
reviews-
to,
No, I think these are just
reload the
alts.
page.
I think these are just alts. And finally, Ezra Bridger is my love, on Chapter 1 on March 6th, 2016, wrote,
I
I
loved it."
loved it. Oh,
Yay.
how sweet. He did love it. For some reason, my review for Chapter 2 hasn't gone through.
That's a shame.
What did you say?
I said you can't write.
Seth, can you just post a reply that says, how does the sentence end?
I've already done that, it's okay.
Oh, yes.
Ezra and Sabine go blimp by I am a totally random author. The Empire genetically
I am a
engineered
totally
strawberries.
random author.
They affect Sabine and Ezra gets in on the act. Oh, so it's that kind of random. Where there's no real substance. It's just, lol, look at me, I'm thinking of random words. Rated fiction, M. Written in English. Themes are drama and romance. It stars Ezra B. and Sabine W. for wanker. Words 1015. 13 reviews. 7 favourites, 2 follows, published on December 17th, 2015, and its status is complete. It has an ID of 11673094. Ezra and Sabine sat on different stools,
A comma!
eating strawberries from a large bowl, watching the Hollow News, which talked about a
A full
hollow
stop!
cost. Ezra glanced at Sabine, checking out her figure in the corner of his eye.
So long.
Were her boobs
Full
always
stop.
so
I
big,
haven't
he
heard of
asked
that
himself.
punctuation in
I'm
here.
seeing things. He looked at her again and his eyes widened. Oh no, he's doing the apostrophised plurals thing. Her button boobs are the size of melons. Ezra stared in shock as her belly seemed to gain 50 pounds. The belt around her waist snapped, her clothes beginning to tear. She is thick AF, as they say. Sabine? Sabine? Ezra yelled, gaining her attention. What? He continued to gape as she gained another 100 pounds everywhere. You're fat! He burst out.
You're
She
in
dropped
wrong
the strawberry
form
in
again.
her
Oh no, that
hand.
still could be the correct
Excuse
form.
me? Sabine,
You're fat.
the fat
Yeah,
in
it's
her
just like-
possession. Sabine leapt to
he's
her
just talking
feet
about the fat
outraged.
that belongs
Her
to-
clothes fell to the floor, leaving her nude. Another 300 pounds. Ezra's mouth went slack. You're naked! That is in the incorrect form. He suddenly clamped his mouth shut. Damn, why does she look so sexy all of a sudden? He suddenly felt her giant tits pressing to his chest as he kissed her hard on the mouth. You look gorgeous, even better than before. Sabine blushed in all her
There's
glory.
the blushing.
She returned the kiss harder than before, gaining another 600 pounds. At some point she's going to pass the Chandrasekhar limit and become a black hole. They broke apart a moment to breathe. You were at to, Sabine asked slyly as she gained another 60 more pounds in the breast. Okay, at the end of this I'm going to tally up the total mass of her. Ezra pushed her to the floor and she spread her long giant chubby legs. He entered her, suddenly determined to make her swell. Sabine groaned in delight. Her stomach, breasts and hips began to swell. The girl began crying in delight. More, please! Make me in your image, baby. Ezra began pumping faster, causing her to grow larger every second. She gained 100 pounds every passing second. The girl cried out as something kicked.
At least we know why it's
More
called Ezra
children.
and Sabine
Please,
go
please,
blimp.
please. Ezra let out a huff. Well, no, blimps are lighter than air. And began pumping faster still. Sabine's stomach burst forth,
It's
filling
amazing.
with sperms and eggs fighting to make children. Her groans grew louder. Her belly exploded on top of on top of Ezra, onto the floor encounters. Several hundred babies began kicking at once. The girl howled with joy. Ezra pumped even faster, adding more sperm. He crawled out from under her belly. Baby? Sabine reached for Ezra, kissing him on the mouth. Thank you. Ezra kissed just as hard. I'd do anything for you, honey. Can you make me even bigger? She begged. He smiled. Of course, we're going to need more room though. Sabine moaned as her spine swelled in height. Okay, first of all, spines can't swell. Secondly, how do you swell in height? That doesn't make any sense. Making her 10 foot tall. How about the loading bay? I want to be huge. That's excellent, baby. Ezra lifted her with the force, carrying her to the loading bay. It was so large. It felt so wonderful. I never wanted to stop. I roared in delight as I added another 1,500 pounds in weight. I felt the floor touch my skin. Ezra entered me once again. Oh, so we're suddenly in Sabine's point of view. I groaned in pleasure as my body began to inflate. My boobs began what seemed to fill up with air. My stomach expanded, growing larger by the millisecond. My hips tripled in size, breaching the walls of the cargo bay. Those strawberries were good. I wonder if they can make me bigger even faster. I tapped the floor, getting my babe's attention. Baby, can you get me those wonderful strawberries, please? Ezra removed himself, much like a kebab, from my beginner. Of course, honey. I waited patiently for his return. Several hundred developed babies kicked inside me, fighting to be free. I squealed in joy and began caressing my ginormous stomach in my large hands. I'm back, baby. I turned my head in the direction of his voice. Ezra held several containers of the berries. Why does berries have an apostrophe before it? I purred. That's a lot
This
of them.
person is
huh,
trying
honey?
too hard to have perfect grammar.
Yeah.
No, they're trying too hard to sound cool. I mean, I try too hard to have perfect grammar, like, you know, refusing to end sentences with prepositions, but... You know...
Like blood.
R/fellow kids.
I purred. That's a lot of them, huh, honey? He smiled. Of course. Now open wide. I obliged. I obliged. Let's Google that, because I don't know what that means.
Oh my god.
Okay, Google.
What do you mean? Oh,
Okay,
God.
Google. Define oblige. Oh, it thought I said obliged.
Oh. So maybe they wrote this in a text-to-speech, or a speech-to-text, rather.
No, obliged isn't actually a word. Oh no, the first result here is abdominal pain, nausea, sore throat, vomiting, tiredness, cramps, fever, constipation for steadyhealth.com. I will send a screenshot. I will send a screenshot just to prove that that is the case.
It's all in capitals as well.
Why do you think I yelled it?
Obviously taking some tips from the last author. Oh my god.
There's
Obliged.
not even a space between each comma.
Oh,
I obliged without question. Quietly he tossed several into my mouth, and I swallowed them whole. We continued this process for
Several what?
several minutes without
Berries, right?
change. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I thought eating these would make me bigger quicker. I guess not. Ezra displayed a deep look of sad concern. That's too bad. He fingered a large chunk of my fatty skin. I laughed loudly. Stop it, that tickles. Ezra quickly dug in even more, making me laugh louder. My voice echoed triumphantly throughout the ship. I suddenly screamed as the straw... Triumphantly. Yeah, that's when you get a victory, but you're only wearing your pants. Throughout the ship. I suddenly screamed as the strawberries accelerated my weight gain. Ezra called out to me, concerned, Sabine! I couldn't answer his call as I swelled faster than before. The walls began to creak and groan from the pressure. I cried out, and I shoved myself out the ghost into the fields. I groaned. I could only stare in shock as I bloated larger and larger in size. The kicking in my stomach suddenly turned violent. The developed babies scratching at the cage that held them. I began moaning with pleasure as I bloated uncontrollably. I watched the ghost shrink. I reached back inside the ghost, grabbing all the strawberries. Okay, so the author tried to do an apostrophe plural, put the apostrophe on the wrong side of the S, and they...
look like Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
Strawberries, capital S. They make strawberries seem like some sort of drug or something.
I love how she's.
Yeah,
I love
apparently
how,
they're
like,
genetically
into my
modified.
mouth. They reacted instantly. They
I love how-
accelerated my weight gain.
I love how at the beginning it was only one strawberry.
Yeah. I began moaning with pleasure as I bloated uncontrollably. I watched the ghost shrink. I reached back inside the ghost, grabbing all the strawberries. I dumped them all into my mouth and tossed the packages to the ground. They reacted instantly, gurgling in my stomach. The children kicked and scratched all the more, dying to be free.
Scratched?
Oh.
Why do they have?
Is this
Yeah.
is this Sabine's uterus we're talking about now, or Comet Pizza in Washington D.C.? I felt my spine swell even more, giving more room to swell. What? Hang on. It's swelling, therefore giving herself more room to swell?
Makes no sense.
I grabbed my drooping belly with both hands, squeezing the fat. I played with it. I played with it, messed with it. I watched it grow larger and larger in my very hands. I loved this, being this huge. It was so wonderful. I recommend trying it sometime. Ha ha, I was squealing and moaning with joy, pleasure, happiness, you name it. Needless to say, I never did stop growing. I kept going till I got out of our atmosphere. But
And
even when I
somehow-
died, my body kept bloating. It soon became larger than Lothal, larger than any known planet or ship. It was the biggest thing in the galaxy. And it was still growing.
And I still managed to find time to write the second half of the fanfiction while
Hmm.
there.
Okay, the bloody reviews. Okay.
Okay, so the
Yes.
first one from Skeleton Knight for Chapter 1 on December 19th, 2016 wrote, WTF, this is terrible and retarded.
Well, actually, this was better than the one before.
Karate Koala on Chapter 1 on July 12th, 2016 just simply wrote ... Nirvana, probably unrelated to the band, maybe Kurt Cobain from, upstairs, wrote Chapter 1, March 10th, 2016. Cool. Mass Effect TXS on Chapter 1 on February 29th, 2016 wrote ... What the fuck did I just read?
We're not sure, Mass Effect TXS. I'm sorry.
I mean...
Guess.
Oh my god, the author replied. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
We're not there yet. We're not there.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Guest on Chapter 1 on January 14th, 2016 wrote, The Empire genetically modified strawberries. What? Arm? Leg? Brain? Oh, you meant strawberries as in plural, and not strawberries as in strawberry owns something. Gotcha! Okay, if we're going to be pedantically picking on grammar, you forgot to close your quote. Cunt.
Also, strawberries.
Okay, and I am a totally random author on Chapter 1 on January 14th, 2016 wrote, This just sucks you in. I hated writing this. Then why did you? But I posted it to see how others would react. A random girl who fan on Chapter 1 on December 30th, 2015 wrote o.o.i.am.scad.
What an interesting web URL.
Guest on Chapter 1 on December 21st, 2015 wrote Wat.
What?
Oh, the Steven Universe fan is back again. J Titans and Space Gaze on Chapter 1 on December 23rd, 2015
Seth,
wrote,
are you sure this isn't just like your alternate account?
WTF just happened. This has to be the single most disturbing and horrific thing I've ever read. And I've read a lot.
Oh my god, it is Seth's account.
The Yellow Lantern, Chapter 1 on December 22nd, 2015 said, This was hilarious. Braggy on Chapter 1 on December 21st, 2015 wrote, WTF. And TryPie on Chapter 1 on December 18th, 2015 wrote, WTF did I just read? We're asking the same question, really.
Jesus wept.
I know, he did.
That
Hang
was
on.
so bad. This music is so appropriate for how.
Oh, that was an ordeal.
Anyway, so,
Don't let your kids watch it!